Hi guys, welcome back. So today I thought I would do a quick map tour of both of the water parks. So I'm not going to go into super detail about all of the rides because for the most part they're going to be self-explanatory and you're going to get a good idea when you see them. But I am going to be going over some tips and tricks in terms of the water parks and also just some general information you should know. So we're going to start at Blizzard Beach. Now, Blizzard Beach is in the Animal Kingdom area of Walt Disney World, and so that means that to get to Blizzard Beach, you actually are going to have to go through Animal Kingdom. So when you are wanting to go to the water park, you're going to be taking a bus in the morning that's going to say Animal Kingdom / Blizzard Beach. Normally, they do make sure that that's noted that way so you know at that time that that's what you need to do so that there's not a surprise. But so what's going to happen is that they're going to drop you off at the bus area for Animal Kingdom, and then you're going to need to go over to a separate area, wait for a separate bus that'll be specifically for Blizzard Beach, and then from there it'll take you right over. So that is a fair amount of transferring for buses. And the bus system, you can wait 20 minutes for a bus. And so my big recommendation is to take something like an Uber or a Lyft over to the water parks, either one, because they both have the same setup in terms of getting to the water park through another location. It's just that with Typhoon Lagoon, you're going through Disney Springs. So for Blizzard Beach, you're going to enter right over here. This is where the parking lot is if you want to drive in. Otherwise, you have the buses that'll drop you off here. And then you've got a miniature golf course right over here that has a Christmassy winter theme that goes along with the water park. So one of the first things to note in terms of getting admission to the water park is that you are going to need to buy one of two things. Either you're going to buy a ticket that's specifically for the water park, which is a one-day admission, and that, I think the last time I checked, it was about $50 for a one-day admission to the water park. What's going to likely be a much better deal is to do it as the add-on. So when you buy your multi-day park tickets, you're going to add on a feature called Water Park Fun and More. And that's going to give you admission to the water parks and also the miniature golf courses. And the way that that works is that you have an admission to a water park or mini golf course for every day of regular park ticket you purchase. So if you have a 4-day park ticket with Water Park and More, that means you have 4 separate admissions to go to either of the water parks or to go to the miniature golf courses, which there's 2 of. So that's a good thing to keep in mind, is that can sometimes be a lot better, especially if you're going during the summer. You may want to hit the water parks, and you may actually do that on days when you've been to the theme parks. We did it on our honeymoon. We spent a good amount of the morning at Magic Kingdom, but it was really hot. We were really uncomfortable, and we really wanted to hit the water park. And so we actually went to Typhoon Lagoon and went swimming and enjoyed the water park, and then went back to Magic Kingdom that night to enjoy the fireworks. And so that was a nice way to break up the day and kind of cool off. So that's how you would do that. So to get into the water park, you'll come right through here down this walkway. This is an area right over here for customer service if you have any issues going on, or you didn't buy Water Park and More and you want to now. You can do that right here, and then they'll scan your tickets here. So the first thing you're going to come up on is the Beach House, which is their gift shop area. You're going to have the Lotta Wada Lodge, which is their main food service location. You're going to have a lot of these kiosks going around the rest of the park, but this is going to be the main one in terms of having a normal quick service meal. Now, next we're going to come up on is the lockers. So this is kind of an interesting situation with Blizzard Beach. So you have lockers here, but these are all electronically controlled. And so there's these little kiosks right here, and you would use those kiosks to purchase a locker here. Now, a problem you can run into, and what we ran into as a pretty big problem, was the fact that these kiosks were down and they have no other way to rent out these lockers. And so we couldn't get these lockers, and so we had to go to a separate area. Now, it's important to know that even if you get your locker in that other area, you need to come here first, because this is where they're going to sell you at this section of the location. That's where we're going to make the purchase for the locker, and they're going to give you your keys and everything. And so that's really important to know, is that you need to come here first, regardless of if you're going to get a locker here or farther down. So the other place to get a locker is over here. And you can see that's a bit of a hike. It's not nearly as convenient as the ones right here, and so you are going to have to walk a bit. So if the kiosks are working, I highly recommend getting a locker right over here. It's going to be a lot easier for you. They've got a bathroom right over here to change in, and then you can just put your stuff in the locker. The other thing to know is that they do charge for towel rentals, but if you are staying at a Disney resort, you can rent as many towels as you want for free. So they'll just scan your band to make sure you have a resort reservation, and then they will give you towels. So that's a good thing to know as well. You really don't need to bring towels, and you should not be paying for towel rentals. They will give them to you. So as you can see, there's some other snack areas right around here. And then one of the main things that they have is that they have this chairlift system. And this will take you from the lower area to up here where most of the rides are. So you get let off, and then there's a bunch of different rides. This is where you're going to go to get on most of the rides. As I mentioned in other videos, have a pretty strong fear of heights. And although soaring doesn't bother me, this scared me really, really bad. And I was freaking out the entire time we were on it. So that meant that for the rest of the trip, or the rest of our time at Blizzard Beach, we took the stairs, because I couldn't go on it more than once. And that is a lot of stairs. It's probably one of my least favorite things about Blizzard Beach, is that to get to anything, you're going to be going up a lot of stairs, and it's going to be more than you think. So that is something to keep in mind. So you do have some areas over here that are more kid-friendly. You've got a lazy river that goes around the park, and then you've got the main area here, which has all of your different slides. Like I said, I'm not going to go into detail about each of them, because you're going to be able to tell when you see them what they are. The only one that's a good one to note, and this is certainly the big draw of the park, is Summit Plummet, which is right here. And this is one of those practically 90-degree drop rides where you go straight down and then you slide out. I am way too much of a chicken to ever do it. So if that looks like something you like at other water parks, you'll probably like this one as well. I am way too much of a chicken to ever go on it. And then you have the regular wave pool area. Now this is a normal wave pool. This is the kind of thing you're going to see at other water parks you've been to. It's a nice one. It was really fun. We enjoyed it. There's nothing super special about it. So a lot of times the water's calm, and then they'll go through a period of letting out waves, and then again it'll be calm again. So then you've got some chairs over here if you want to just sit on the sand and look out. You've got some little kiosks in this area that are going to sell different food options, like right here. You're going to be able, right over here, they'll have snacks, things like pretzels, turkey legs. You'll also be able to get things like mini donuts. They've got a mini donut kiosk right here. And then there's also alcoholic beverages that you can get at different locations. So that is the general gist of Blizzard Beach. Like I said, I'm not going to go over in super detail all of the rides, just because they're going to be pretty self-explanatory when you get here. And this is much more about going over some of the bigger things to note. So the other water park is Typhoon Lagoon. And Typhoon Lagoon is very close to Disney Springs. In fact, the entrance to it is right here, and it's right across the street from one of the entrances to Disney Springs. So this one you are going to have to transfer at the Disney Springs bus station, just like you do at the Animal Kingdom bus station to get to Blizzard Beach. And again, I cannot recommend more the idea of doing an Uber or a Lyft to Typhoon Lagoon as opposed to relying on Disney transportation. A few years ago, they used to offer it where the bus would go to Typhoon Lagoon and then continue on, drop you off at Disney Springs, and then go back. So it would be a loop that would include Typhoon Lagoon and Disney Springs, and you wouldn't have to transfer buses. They stopped doing that a few years ago. So you do have to get off that bus and get on another one. So I really don't recommend dealing with that. It's a major hassle. It's not as big of a deal going back because you're not as rushed. But if you are trying to get to the park early in the morning, which I do recommend, it's not something that is a fun experience. So for this one, you have the bus drop-offs here. You have the entrance right here. This one does not have a mini golf course in the general area. So this is where you'll go to get your ticket scanned. And as far as I can remember, neither water park has security that you go through. So you'll walk through here. Singapore Sales is their gift shop. And then you've got the lockers right over here. And my memory is that the locker situation was a lot easier to deal with at Typhoon Lagoon. I can't remember if it was a kiosk or if they had a little stand that you could talk to somebody, but it will be very obvious. But they are right here. You're not going to be walking a long distance to get to the lockers. So then you're going to have a larger sand area right here in front of the wave pool, and you're going to have some food options right over here, along with one right over here. Now, the big thing for Typhoon Lagoon is their wave pool, which is a massive wave pool. The waves on them are 5 to 6 feet above the water, and it is very intense. So it's a really fun one. We had a blast, but they are massive waves. They will pull you back a long distance, regardless of if you are an adult or a child. And so you want to be really careful bringing your kids into here during the waves. You want to make sure that they're a fairly confident swimmer if you're going to take them out any farther than right around here. So you want to be very cognizant of that it is a more extreme wave pool than what's at Blizzard Beach and what you're probably used to. So these are actually big enough waves that in the morning before the park opens, they actually have surf lessons in this pool. They're so big. So then the other thing is you have your lazy river that goes around the whole park. So you can see that right here. That's a nice thing to do, kill some time, relax a bit. And then again, you're going to have a whole bunch of different water slides that are going to be coming out right here. I'm not going to go through much of that. I will say though that I don't remember going up nearly as much stairs for these rides as I do at Blizzard Beach. So then you're going to have right over here, you've got a little bit more of a kiddie zone. The other ones to note is right over here, you're going to have Crush and Gusher. These are 3 different water slides. They're all in one complex, but they are different experiences, and they're lots of fun. And then you have Misadventures Falls, which is the newest water slide to come on. It opened a few years ago, actually. And so this one's really nice because you're going to get into a tube and you're going to be kind of on a conveyor belt to go up, which means you don't have to do any stairs. And it's going to get you to the top, and then it's going to take you down. It's not like a super crazy exciting ride, but it is an enjoyable one, and I remember liking it a lot. So, and then you've got a few more food options right over here. Lots of areas at Typhoon Lagoon that are little areas that you can sit. So, although it may not look like it when you get here if all these seats are taken up, there might be seats in other areas that you can enjoy. So, those are my thoughts for Typhoon Lagoon. Of the two, I really prefer Typhoon Lagoon. I think the wave pool is more exciting there. I think the rides are more enjoyable. And like I said, I don't remember going up as many stairs. The locker situation is a lot easier to deal with. So in general, that is my preference. If you can, though, I do recommend going to both, checking them both out, because maybe you have a different thought, maybe you have a different preference, and so you might like Blizzard Beach more. But my preference is towards Typhoon Lagoon. So that is it for today. I hope you all have a magical day, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.